and welcome to episode 50 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. You can find all of the links in the description box below to the places where you can find me on social media, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I am so excited and grateful that you are here today joining me for episode 50 of this podcast. I cannot believe this is my 50th time sitting in this spot and recording this podcast. It's amazing. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who have watched all these episodes. I'm so excited and grateful to be here. So we're just going to hop on into it today because I have multiple finished objects to show you guys and I can't wait to get started. Okay, so like I said, I have multiple finished objects to talk about today. I have spent this entire week working on my current whips, getting tests done, and then I was working on continuing some designs, and it has just been a really busy week. So my first finished object is a test knit. These are my DK Sporty Socks. I knit these for Claire of Perfectly Knotted. I am testing these for her, and here is what my finished socks look like. I love them so much. You probably can't tell on the screen, which I'm really grateful for, but they are a little bit wet, actually. I wet blocked them, and honestly, I think it might have been a mistake. I thought that they needed to be wet blocked because I would have liked them to lay a little bit smoother on the blockers, but they grew just a little bit just due to the weight of the yarn, so that's my fault. I'm planning on, this happened to another pair of socks that I'm going to show in a minute, and I'm planning on just throwing them in the dryer for a couple minutes and letting them shrink, if that's even possible. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to do some research on that, but anyway, they're complete and I love them, and they are so cozy and squishy and wonderful to wear. I am obsessed with this pattern. Cannot wait to make another pair for sure. I really want to make a solid pair soon, so I think that will be happening. So the yarn that I used for this pair is actually the same yarn that Claire used for her pattern sample, and that is Knit Picks High Desert. I'm not sure what color. I used the color Cottonwood. I have it right here. Yay. So this white is Cottonwood. That's what the white is called. And then this gray is called Quail. So here's what it looks like in the skein. And I did not even use a whole skein of each color. I haven't weighed it yet. I'm going to be figuring that out soon. But I used about half the skein of the white and probably like a third of a skein of the gray, and that was for the pair combined. So yeah, love these. Super excited. Stay tuned because that pattern will be coming out soon. And I am obsessed with these socks. They're just so cute. Really, really love the high contrast between the white and the gray as well. So super, super fun. Okay, and then the next finished object that I have is another pair of socks. So these are my April socks. I knit the Candy Mountain socks, which is a pattern by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. It is my first fingering weight color work socks, and I love them. I love how they turned out. They are just so cute and colorful. They're so much fun to wear. Now, again, made the same darn mistake. I knew I wanted to block these because there was a little bit of puckering with color work, and I knew that if I just blocked them, it would smooth it right out. Well, they stretched, and they grew a little bit, which is fine. Again, I'm just going to put them in the dryer and let them shrink back up. They are also still a little bit damp. I was really planning on having, dry socks to share on the podcast, but apparently that's a little bit too much to ask for with my awesome planning skills. But anyway, I still absolutely love how these turned out, and I will get them to shrink down just a little bit. They're not too big, it's just I have really small feet, and so now, because the heel is a little bit baggy here, it's going to be baggy on my own heel, which, again, I think I can shrink down just a little bit. If you have ever had this happen to you, and you have tried to shrink socks in the dryer, please leave me a comment below or send me an email to thegracefultangle@gmail.com and let me know how it turned out for you, because I'm super curious. I really want to try this because I want these socks to fit perfectly, and the frustrating part is they did before I blocked them. So yeah, I just need to figure out how to make them go back to how they were. I know it's possible, it's just figuring out the best method. I think the dryer is the right solution. Yeah, let me know if you've ever tried that. But anyway, the yarn that I used for these, super fun. I used Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Dove Heather for the main color, which is the gray. And then I used a mini set, and it was the Wildflowers set. I'll link it down below so that you can check it out. But it had all of these colors in it. So it was 5 different colors. I do not remember the individual names of each of them. I think, yeah, I don't even know. I don't want to mess it up. I know this one is Eucalyptus because I'm using it for another design. But other than that, I don't want to add confusion by messing up a colorway name. But I will link it below so that you can check it out. Again, it was just the Wildflowers set overall. And I had plenty of leftovers, so I could really make like a whole other pair of socks using the same colors. But I think what I'm going to do is save them for like a pair of scrappy socks for stripes, or I don't know, maybe do like a blanket in the future. I'm not entirely sure, but I've set them aside for now and I will use them eventually. But yeah, here is my second finished object. I love these socks so much. I'm so happy with the way they turned out. And I'm looking forward to making another pair of colorwork socks for sure because they were so much fun to make. Okay, my third finished object is the other test that I was working on. So this is my Maple Grove cardigan, which is a pattern by Janine of Knits and Knots. She is releasing this pattern in her book, which is coming out later this year. I cannot wait to get my hands on the actual copy of this book. It is going to be absolutely amazing. There are so many sweater patterns in it. I don't know the actual number, but I know that she has done like at least 2 rounds of huge test calls for individual patterns. And it's just absolutely amazing. She blows my mind with the amount that she can manage at a time. Like, I struggle with just running 1 test at a time. I cannot imagine running that many. But anyway, I try to do my part by being as simple and just as straightforward as possible in any communication that has to happen. But I love how this cardigan turned out. So I know the color doesn't show up great on screen, and I apologize for that. But I do really love the color in person, so I don't regret the color I chose. I just wish that it would pick up a little bit better on camera. I'm hoping to get some good pictures of this soon. So I'll be sure to share those with you guys once I do that. I'm hoping it'll happen sometime early this week. I think I know where. I just have to figure out lining and things like that. So anyways, here is the finished cardigan. So it is really long. It has pockets, which is so fun. Love the pocket detail. It uses the linen stitch, which is one of my all-time favorite crochet stitches. So much fun to do. And yeah, long sleeve. The sleeves are fitted, which is my personal favorite. And they are long sleeve, which is, again, I absolutely love it for long cardigans like this. I will put it on for you guys. I'm wearing a dress right now, and obviously it has these 3/4 length sleeves, so it's not going to be a good... Let me see if I can fix my sleeves. This is why I love 3/4 length sleeves this time of year, but if you have to wear something under it, or over it, I guess is what I should say, they are not practical, are they? But anyway, I just have to show you how perfect this cardigan fits. It is my absolute favorite style. Drop shoulder, very loose and oversized. I'm gonna stand up and chop off my own head on the camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this is not working as well as I thought it would. It's because of these sleeves. I'm telling you, if I had worn short sleeves, I should have thought ahead and worn like a short sleeve dress. And then I would be able to put this on perfectly. But anyway, there we go. So, not the best picture of what it's going to look like, you know, when it's all interwoven in and all that. But here is what it looks like. So the pockets are the perfect length, which is something I was actually a little bit worried about. So I'm really glad that I nailed that. And again, it is super, super long. It goes down. It is like the exact same length as my dress, which goes all the way to my knees. This is actually, it was a little bit past my knees, but I am obsessed. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. And it's just so cozy and warm. Yeah, I love it. I'm going to live in this come fall. I really needed another long sleeve crocheted cardigan that fit like this and was like a classic color that could be worn with a lot of different things. And this was the perfect solution, and I am so happy with it. So I'm definitely going to be making another one of these cardigans. Like, I have already decided. I'm trying to think of a color that I want to do. But yeah, it is 100% happening, and I can't wait to really make it happen. I do think that with my second one, so the way that this is constructed, you have the front panels and then you actually crochet the sleeves onto the panel and then seam them. So they're still worked flat. I know I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this, and it's really hard to explain, honestly, but basically each panel, after you finish the entire body piece, it's one piece, but you have the side seam open at that point. And so the side seam's open, and you join your yarn and crochet across the shoulder here and work your sleeve. So even though I really liked doing it, I think if I were to knit another or crochet another one of these cardigans, I would just go ahead and seam that seam all the way closed, and then crochet either in the round or turning while working in the round for the sleeve, because that would just, I think, go a little bit better for me personally. But other than that, it's amazing, and I love it, and I can't wait to wear it, you know, when it's actually chilly, and get some pictures of it later. So yeah, super excited about that pattern. The one that I used is Cascade Pacific Worsted in the colorway 102. So I have one full skein left, and that is it. So really busted through my stash of this color, which is good. So yeah, love that, and again, can't wait to wear it. So that is it for finished objects, and we are actually going to hop into design talk. I do not have any current works in progress to show you guys. I do have 2 cardigans that I have put on hold for the time being, just so I can focus on other projects that have deadlines and things like that. But I have 2 designs that I'm going to show you guys today, and then we will talk about devotion and a life update. So let's just hop right into that. Okay, so there are 2 designs that I want to talk about today. The first is the Sunny Days dishcloth. So I crocheted another sample of this pattern and created a video tutorial to go along with the written pattern. And then I just updated the pattern and posted it for free on my blog as well. So you can check that out if you're interested. I'll link it down below. But this is just a really simple single crochet dishcloth. It's worked corner to corner, and then you work a single crochet border around the entire thing once you have completed it. I love this pattern. It was so much fun and so easy to make. And I hope that you guys like it too. So again, I'll link that video tutorial down below if you want to follow along with it. But yeah, it's just a really simple, beginner-friendly dishcloth pattern. I used We Crochet Dishy, of course, in the colorway Creme Brulee, I think is how you say that. But yeah, just a really pretty yellow. Really like how this turned out. So that was super quick to make. And again, the video tutorial was fun to make as well. So I am happy that that is now available for you guys. And then the other design that I have been putting tons and tons of time into is my new blanket. So this is actually releasing this week. It is coming in just a couple of days. For me, it's in more days than what it is right now. I'm recording this on a Sunday. You won't see it until Tuesday. And this pattern is releasing Thursday, I believe. I'm still working out the details. As possible, it'll be Friday. But yeah, either way, it's coming this week for sure, and I am so excited about it. So the pattern is just about completely ready to go. I am just adding the finishing touches to the sample, and then I'll update the pattern with those things as well. But yeah, here is what it looks like right now. It is so close to being complete, It is going to be a beautiful throw for the summer, and I am so excited to release this pattern. It has been a long time coming, but yeah, I've had so much fun making it, and it is just amazing. I love the color so much as well. So here is a close-up of the stitch pattern. I know you can't see it super well, but I'll be getting lots of pictures of this, so I'll be posting those so that you can check them out there as well. But I am really excited about this pattern. So the yarn that I am using, I've talked about it many times before because, like I said, this project has been a long time coming. But I am using Cascade Yarns Cascade 220 not Superwash, just Merino. Or is it? Yeah, Cascade 220 Merino. And this is the colorway Icelandic Blue, I believe. So it's a really beautiful kind of periwinkle light blue. So gorgeous. And I just love it. So like I said, the sample is almost complete. And then I'll be getting pictures and releasing the pattern here very soon. So stay tuned for that. Again, I'm just having so much fun working on this project. It is extremely simple. You will be able to see that, very early on in the pattern, how easy it is. And that is what I love to create. I want it to be simple and just let the stitch pattern and the yarn shine for itself and for you to enjoy every single stitch of actually making it. And I hope that I have achieved that for you guys. So, yeah, stay tuned for that because it is going to be amazing. I'm so excited to release that pattern. So that is it for all the knitting and crochet content. Again, I don't have as much to show this week because I have been busy just working on those quilt whips, getting those tests done. And yeah, I'm really grateful I was able to get done a lot this week. I'm really excited about that. So I'm hoping to finish up a couple of other designs this week, get those tests completely done. And then I will be starting some new projects here soon. So I'm super excited to show you those. But for now, let's go ahead and hop into devotion and a little life update. So this week I wanted to kind of tell a little bit of a story that happened earlier this week. Super minor and a little bit funny now, but it was not funny in the moment. And just kind of lead into that on a different subject. So earlier this week in class, so I am in college if you're new around here, and I attend a couple of classes every week, although now that I'm saying that, this week is actually my last week of this semester, so that's about to not be true anymore. But I attend a couple of classes. Lots of them are still online and virtual only, but I do have two that are in person, and I am so grateful for that. So grateful for that. So anyway, earlier this week I was in one of my classes, and at the beginning of the lecture, the professor was talking about how there might be an active shooter drill. So just a drill, just a precautionary thing if something were to happen in the future, to be better prepared for an event like that. And it was hard to understand what he was saying because he was kind of talking fast because he was ready to get into the lecture. And we're also all wearing masks and or social distance. So it's, I'm sure we all know by now, it is pretty hard to understand people in masks. It's a little bit frustrating. I think we're all a little bit tired of that little glitch that has happened, especially if you've gone to restaurants or something like that. We've only been to 2, but it was very hard to understand the waitress, and it's just very easy to miscommunicate when you can't fully understand what the other person is saying. So, when he was talking about that, I missed the word drill. And I don't know why. I'm one of those people that, if somebody tells me something, I'm gonna believe it. Especially if it's somebody of that high authority over me. I'm not gonna ask questions. If it's something serious, I'm just gonna believe it and, move forward and act how I need to act in that instance. So, in this case, he was talking about this drill that was going to happen, and I missed the word drill. So what he was saying in my mind was there is a chance of an active shooter, so we're going to prepare for that. That's what I heard. And so I'm over here, at my desk, completely freaking out on the inside. How do you even know that that's going to happen? All these questions in my mind. But at the same time, it was an extremely complicated chapter in this book, and so the lecture was very detailed, and I was, focusing on what he was saying for the subject, for the accounting subject, not the fact that something crazy might happen very soon. So, long story short, all of Amy Kate's anxiety dwindled down to 30 seconds. Later in the lecture, it was made clear that this was a drill. He said it again. It didn't actually happen. The drill didn't take place. But I understood that it was a drill. And so, once that was communicated, I was like, wait, you said drill at the beginning? And he said yes. So, I was freaking out for nothing. But the point that I learned from this instance, and honestly from multiple instances throughout this week, it has been a crazy week. I had an award ceremony earlier, so I was extremely nervous just all week long. It's been kind of an intense week. And with this semester ending as well and finals coming up, it's just been a lot, and I feel like I've kind of been on edge anyway. But anyway, the lesson that I learned is the importance of being able to overcome the feelings of anxiety and worry and fear by what God says. And so as soon as, my professor said those things at the very beginning of this lecture, I immediately was, okay, God, you're in control. I don't know what's going on. I didn't understand what he said. I heard this word and it was scary. You're in control. And so even though I was still nervous and I was still anxious, I'm not about to lie about that, I knew that he was in control. And so I just want to encourage you by saying this, that even though this was an extremely minor incident, big things do happen and big scary things do take place. But because we can find peace and hope in our Father, we don't have to be scared and worried because he has already overcome all of those feelings. So there's a couple of verses that I wanted to share with you. One of them is Psalm 56:3, and it says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." Another one is Isaiah 41:10, and it says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So I just want to encourage you by saying that no matter what situation we might find ourselves, whether it's something as, silly and misunderstood as the situation that I was in, or if it's something as significant as something like that, hopefully never, but something like that actually happening, or something else that induces those feelings of anxiety and worry and fear, I encourage you to look at those verses, and I included a link in the show notes for so many other, I think it was 30 other verses of this, about this topic, that I encourage you to just read over, because there can be little bitty things that happen just in our day-to-day lives that can cause worry, and reading those verses and being able to have those verses so ingrained in us that that is what we think of before we think of the actual fear of worry, or act of worrying, then I think that is so valuable, and that is definitely the place where I want to be. So I know that was kind of a heavy subject, but I always mean it in an encouraging way, and I hope that it did just that for you today. So with that, other life things. So this week is my last week of classes. I do have a couple of finals this next week. But yeah, the last 2 weeks have arrived, and it is absolutely crazy, but I am excited for a little break and to be done with these specific classes. But yeah, it's been a lot. So that's what's going on this week for me. It is actually my birthday, Saturday, May 1st. So yeah, I'm kind of still, I don't really know how to feel about that. I'm not ready to be 19. But it is what it is, and maybe it'll be a good day anyway. So I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. I am so excited to get so much making done this week and have a good week of classes, and all of the good things that come with that. So let me know in the comments below what you are working on, or send me an email to thegracefultangle@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. That is so exciting, and I am so grateful for it. Also, I am doing Veda on my channel right now, so be sure to check out those vlogs if you haven't already. I am vlogging every single day in April, so today is also the last week of that. And be sure to check those out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you all next time. Bye!